Hey guys, so it's finally time to do the video, my Samsung Galaxy S4 versus my Samsung Galaxy Note 2, and this is the 4G variants here of these two phones, of course. So let's begin. We'll be talking about a lot of things. We'll be checking out the price, form factor, the software, hardware, full specs, some app testing, browser, and then also talk probably about, what I think about, the good things and, in terms of specs and, in general, why you wouldn't buy the Note. So I've been a Samsung user now for a long time. I've been using Samsung phones for, it feels almost 2 years now, upgrading from every single new Galaxy device that has been coming out. And soon, I'm not really sure if I will use the Galaxy S4 as my main smartphone or if I will use the HTC One as my main smartphone, because I haven't been able to pick it up right now. But this, of course, will be a war between, the massive Note, amazing phone. I'm so big of a fan of, the big stuff and the good stuff, of course, as well. But of course, I'm also very much interested in the new stuff, like this latest phone here from Samsung. And the cool thing with the latest phone from Samsung is, of course, that in terms of specs, most of the things it's improved. But of course, I'm also looking forward to the next Note phone, maybe even bigger, maybe even better specs, or probably better specs than the S4. But let's begin and check out the price. So the price here in the Price Spy app. So I will search here for the Note 2. And the Note 2 has been available for 8 months, or soon close to a year. So, it's getting a little bit old. Let's see here, the LTE variants, i9-7105, yes. And then we do have, of course, the brand new Galaxy S4. So we can see that the Galaxy Note 2 costs around, the LTE variant costs around 400 to 600 bucks. While you can probably, I'm at Amazon 400 back, or not 400 bucks, but 400 pounds. While of course you will have to pay around 100 to up to like 200 pounds more for the brand new Samsung Galaxy S4. And I mean that is to be expected for a new phone. So there we go. There we have the price. So if we now start off with the form factor wise and start to look at some things here that could be interesting. So in terms of the form factor here, the first thing that you obviously will notice is that the Note series, Samsung's Galaxy Note series, they are big, okay? They are massive, they are huge, but they're also very, very popular now in the market area. There's a lot of people actually buying the Note series. And also one cool thing about the Note series is, of course, that it does have this S Pen, so you can take notes. And here we go. So we can see here you do have the note feature. You can write down ideas, diary, magazine, recipe. And it's very, very easy to draw also with this little pen. Something that I've been enjoying a lot, when I've been taking screenshots with the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. And then if I want to draw something, I can easily do that. And the S Pen is so much improved from last generation Notes, so that of course is very, very nice. So take a screenshot like this, and then I could easily do something here. And that's of course something that a lot of people, a lot of artists and stuff, and people did enjoy this a ton. And that's why it's been, such a huge success. And then also, of course, you do have these features that, let's see here, if I triple tap on the screen, I get quick access here also, so I can, type in stuff. I have the normal text area where I can write in stuff with my pen, which is also pretty nice. And you can really master the S Pen, and then it becomes extremely useful, and I'm a big fan of it. So that's of course two of the big things with the Note series that is extremely nice. So if I can just take in the pen again. So if we start off here checking these phones out on the front side, you can see that they're still very identical in terms of the design. You know, they have a big screen here. You'd have the same kind of button layout here at the bottom, you know, a home button in the middle, and then, you know, the back keys there. And then also you do have some new sensors on the new Samsung Galaxy S4 up here at the top, and a new IR sensor and some new like humidity sensor and some other cool sensors that you can check out. You do have this new air gestures thing, so you don't even have to touch the screen to do cool things. Like you can see here that recognize where I am. And of course you do have one of those features also available in the Note 2, but with the S Pen, I'm pretty sure. So that's, you know, the front side. If we start off here now with the right side, you still, you know, do have the power on button here on the right side. But there is of course a change here in terms of the design on the sides. You know, in the form factor, you can see that it's a rounded off design here on the sides. You know, rounded off plastic design on the sides. Same as with the Galaxy S3, but now with the Galaxy S4 they have made it a little bit thicker, so I think that's good, first of all, because then it's easier to, you know, really find the buttons, and I kind of like it because it makes the phone looks a little bit more exclusive. And I do like it that it have a big side, like the Asus Pad phone, and also the Apple iPhone also has kind of like a big side here on both sides, which makes it look a little bit more cool here. I think so much more cool. But this phone also definitely also is thinner, so it has like a wider side, but it's thinner overall than, you know, the big fat Note. And of course the big fat Note's of course very big because there's a big, massive, insanely awesome battery. But there's also, this one is not in metallic or something, or aluminum or something, it's like also like in plastic, this side. If you take a look at on the left side here, you still also have volume up and down keys, nothing weird here. And, you know, same goes with the Galaxy Note 2, you know, volume up and down keys here on the side. When we take a look at the, you know, at the bottom of the phones, you know, you have the same kind of layup there with the micro USB port. And then here at the top side also, you do have the same kind of, you know, layup here with the headphone jack there at the left side. If you take a look at on the back side here, we can also see that both have the speaker at the bottom. And I did read a review on Phone Arena, and they were saying that both the calling quality and like the speaker is better, a little bit better on the Note 2 than on the S4. Could be a little bit disappointing if you will be buying an S4. Seems to be one of the, you know, one of the bigger things that is problem with the S4. Maybe not a major problem, but there's so much awesome things. So, you know, of course, if you need to find something, that could be one of the things. But that's just what Phone Arena said. So when we take a look here at the top, we can see, you know, the camera here. You get an 8-megapixel shooter here on the Note 2. We get a 30-megapixel one here that's also a little bit bigger here on the Galaxy S4 with the flash here. Look at the bottom, what's on the right side here on the Note 2. And from what I've seen, also in reviews, you know, the Galaxy S4 has a really good camera. I mean, I did check it out and compare it against the Xperia Z's camera, and it was actually better. And then of course it is better than the Note 2. It's a little bit better there in, you know, in video quality, and also in terms of camera quality, and of course also the softwares. It's been improved with the new TouchWiz Nature UX update from Samsung, and that we'll be taking a little bit of a closer look here pretty soon. So that's a quick little look here in terms of the design aspect. I mean, like, there's not any major things that they have changed. And you still have like a removable battery on both these two phones, of course, which Samsung is starting now to get kind of unique out there on the market to have that. Because many other companies is removing that option, so you can't expand the battery. And also they do have the micro SD card option on the back on both these two phones, so you can expand the memory, you know, up to like 64 gigabytes, which is extremely nice. You know, if you want more of that awesome storage. And then also, of course, it's awesome to have a removable battery, you know, once your phone freezes or something and, you know, you just hate it. and you want to restart it, and then it's extremely nice. And or if you would drop the phone in water and need to let the battery let it dry or something. So if we continue now and have a quick little look here at the software UI, so they might kind of look similar here. Both have Android, both have Samsung's own TouchWiz UX, but there are some differences, of course, because the new GS4 is of course having some new apps like S Health and some new air gestures like Smart Pause, Smart Scroll, and some other ones of those. The Galaxy S4 is first of all running a later version of Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean versus Android 4.1 Jelly Bean that you get right now on the Note 2, and then also Samsung is having the new TouchWiz Nature UX update inside of the GS4, which is making improvements. First of all, in the notification area here, you can see that you now have a quick little tweak here, so you can customize what kind of quick apps you want to have or quick tools you want to have quick access to in this notification area, while you don't have that one available in this edition on the Note 2. And then also you can see some improvements here on the GS4. If we go into the settings area, you can see that they now have a tab system up here in the top instead of just having to scroll down. I think this is probably a little bit more useful. Quick access to accounts, your device, connections, and then you have your more tab with about device. So if you take a look at that, also pretty quick. We can see here what Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean versus 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. I'm not sure when Samsung will release the Android 4.2 Jelly Bean for the Note 2, or if they will release some of this new TouchWiz for the Note 2, but they probably will. You can also see that they've updated some icons as well. I think small things like that is pretty cool, seeing that they're improving stuff all the time. But for some other people, it might just be a smaller thing. You can also see, of course, that they have new wallpapers and probably new live wallpapers as well in the new TouchWiz. But the big things are, of course, the settings area, and that you have quick access now over here, and some of the new apps. And you can see here Smart Stay, Smart Scroll, some of the new features, Air Gestures, Air View, and they also have improved some other software UI tweaks, like the camera now features, of course, the new Galaxy camera UI, which is having some new features. When you tap on mode here, you can see that they are really helping you if you aren't as good at this. So the quick mode button, you have same as on the Galaxy camera. You do have different modes here, like night, sports, take pictures, panorama mode, which is a little bit complicated for me when I try it out, but it takes some time probably to learn it. Eraser tool, rich tone HDR pictures, animated photo, the drama shot. You also have dual shot mode, where you can record yourself with the front facing camera and also simultaneously use the other camera to record what you're seeing, and that is pretty unique. And I'm not sure if that's going to be available for the Note 2. You also have the best face, best photo, beauty face, and then of course the normal auto mode here that I did show in the beginning. And when you check out the settings here, when we tap here and tap here on the settings, that's how you reach the settings area. You can see that this is how it looks like, the normal things here. If you want to change, if you want to save pictures and things to your micro SD card and not saves on your internal storage, if you have a micro SD card or if you did buy it, you just go down here to the settings area and tap here, and then you can just change the memory card if you have one of those installed. And I also have a video on micro SD card, but as I said already in the beginning as well, it should be able to take both better in sharper video and pictures. And if you want to have burst mode, of course you can just change here to like sports, take pictures of fast movements, and you can play around with these and see what you do like. Of course, you can also see that you can record a video and take pictures at the same time, but I think also that's available in the Note 2. And then also, if you want to check out some of the air gestures, I haven't played around with that much right now, but I will definitely. But we can just go down here to, let's see, my device. You can go down to motions and gestures, and this is the area where, you know, you can find some of the new stuff like air gestures. You know, you have some cool things here: air browse, air jump, air move, air call accept. I will definitely check out that, you know, more in the future. But that's some of the, you know, small cool little things here that they do have changed. And then they probably changed some things on the lock screen. But, you know, in general, you know, the software UI things, of course, if you are a geek, you can definitely, you know, get the S4 experience in terms of UI. Definitely, you know, if you tweak around and install different firmwares and stuff, you can get the same experience here almost on the Note 2. So that could be good to know. And if we check out now the full specs, we can definitely do that. Let's start off with saying that both these two smartphones are 4G variants, but there's a thing here, there is a thing that you might want to know, and that is that in terms of speeds, wait a sec here. Okay, I did forget one thing, but yeah. Okay, so in terms of speeds, both these two devices, as I said, are 4G smartphones, but you can have better speeds. There's like, you have better 4G inside of the S4 because the speeds of HSDPA could go up to 42 megabits per second, while it's only at around 21 megabits per second in the Note 2. So you know, the 4G is better there in the S4. You know, in terms of, you know, thickness and stuff like that, definitely Samsung is pretty famous for, you know, making their phones bigger, but also in each generation making them a little bit more slimmed down. And definitely the S4 is a little bit more thinner here with 7.9 millimeters in thickness versus almost like 1 centimeter in thickness here on the big fat Note 2. And if we continue on here, both in terms of screen, this is interesting, both have a Super AMOLED screen, 5.5 inch here on the Note 2, while it's a 5-inch one on the Galaxy S4, but the resolution is a lot higher on the S4. It's a 1080p screen versus a 720p screen. So I'm not sure if you can see it. I'll probably make, you know, a more of a close-up video on it in the future, you know, real display comparison. But you can definitely see a difference in some, you know, if you really go close, you can see, you know, a difference there, that the camera is spotted a little bit there, the difference there. And especially if you do a lot of reading and have small text, you probably might also notice here, but I can see at my camera here that it's reacting a little bit here to you know, the Note 2's screen, while it doesn't react too much here on the GS4. Because it has a high resolution screen. But in general, for most people, I don't think that they will see a massive difference. But if you really look closely, you will see a difference between the 1080p screen. You will see that it's better. I've also been seeing a lot of comments on my videos. People been saying that the S4 screen almost looks unreal. Then they also like, what is it with the screen? And it seems like they also made it brighter. Colors looks, you know, even more vibrant than on my S3 and on my Note 2, I think. There's something about it that they made it amazing one more time. And that thing with along with the 1080p resolution really makes it an amazing display. Which I think is, you know, the best display like in the world right now. It is totally amazing in, you know, vibrant colors and stuff. So also in terms of protection, you should get Gorilla Glass 2 here on, you know, the Note 2, same as in the Samsung Galaxy S3, but on the new S4 here, we should get the new Gorilla Glass 3. That should be even more nice scratch resistant, you know. I might do some testing in the future with some kind of protector or something, but we'll see about that. But it could still be good to get a protector because, you know, this is only for, you know, scratches maybe in your pocket and stuff. But if you would drop your device, you know, the device could still definitely break. But it's nice to know that there's like could be a new generation there on top. SD card, of course, 64 gigabytes on both if you want to, you know, maximize the potential there of your storage. And then also, you know, of course you do, as I said earlier, you do get some new sensors inside of the S4, and one of them is an IR port, so you will be able to like control your TV with your S4 in some way. I might check it out a little bit more in the future. And I've already mentioned air gestures, so that is very, very nice. In terms of software, as we already said, you get the latest version of Android here on the S4, plus the latest version of Samsung's own TouchWiz Nature UX. And then also, if you check out the chipset, you do get the Samsung's Exynos 4412 chipset that they've been, you know, always been having now for almost 2 years in this little bad boy here. But with the S4, Samsung is actually stepping up the game and, you know, changing to the Snapdragon 600 chipset, which is the same as you would get in the HTC One. So that's pretty interesting. And I should also say that I'm not using the octa-core GS4 because it's not in Europe and US. The GS4, the Samsung Galaxy S4 that Samsung is releasing is the GT-i9505 and not the GT-i9500. But I'll see if I can get you know, access to that one as well. So what does this mean, or what does this mean? Well, first of all, of course, this chipset in the GS4 is better. It also, you know, in terms of processor-wise, you got a quad-core on both these two devices, but an older architecture here inside of the Note 2. So you get a quad-core processor clocked at 1.6 GHz, same, you know, processor that you would get in the Galaxy S3, but it's clocked at 1.6 GHz instead of 1.4, and it's based on Cortex A9. While the processor that you do get in the Galaxy S4, you know, is a Core one. It's a quad-core clocked at 1.9 GHz, and it's a new architecture. And I think it's that the Snapdragon 600 is renamed, or Snapdragon 600 is like Snapdragon S4 Pro. No. You know, forget about that, but it's a new architecture and it's higher clocked, so we'll be doing some, you know, benchmarking comparisons probably, and, you know, take a look at that. Also, in terms of GPU, you get the Mali 400 GPU, Mali 400 MP GPU clocked at I think 400 megahertz inside of the Note 2, twice the speed as you would get on the same GPU almost in the GS2. So that's of course very, very nice. It runs Rockstar games amazing, like GTA Vice City and GTA 3 in those games. While you get a better GPU inside of the Galaxy S4, especially for Gameloft games like Asphalt 7, you know, Modern Combat games. The Gameloft has a ton of games. It's a Adreno 320 GPU, same GPU as you would get in the LG Optimus G and the LG Nexus 4. But the problem with this GPU is that it doesn't run games that I like a lot. Like it doesn't run them that well. Like GTA games doesn't seem to be running that good on Adreno 320, which kind of sucks because it's a nice game, especially when you connect your Xbox 360 or your PlayStation 3 controller to your smartphone. So yeah, that kind of sucks a little bit. But overall, it's a better, you know, GPU. So if we continue on here, take a look at, of course, the Galaxy Note 2 here. It's available in some more colors because it's been available for, you know, longer time. Where you can only right now get the GS4 in white and, you know, black color. The Note 2 is available in, you know, a ton of different colors. Last thing here in the specs area, you get a bigger battery inside of the Note 2. You get 3100 milliamps with the lower resolution, you know, screen, so you know, you will last longer. While you get the 2600 milliamp battery inside of the GS4, which is still a very, very good battery. But you will still get like a longer battery inside of the Note 2. It's a crusher in that area, so you know, could be nice to know there. So, if we continue now and do some other stuff, let's check out the browser pretty quick here. And of course, you know, in terms of the browsing, if you never, you know, experienced a Note phone in you know, using it, you know, everything you're doing on a Note is amazing because there's a big, large display. I remember the first time I got a Note phone, it was like amazing because it was like no other phone was that big, and it's nice if you do a lot of browsing to have a massive display. But of course the S4 also has a pretty decent display here. but having that little bit of an extra big display is kind of nice. So I'll also see if I can, get some more, cool phones like the Optimus G Pro, that's like a really good Note 2 competitor. I'll see if I can get access to those. Of course, I'm connected to my home Wi-Fi network here, and let's see here. Of course, the experience is very, very nice. Let's see here. Something I find a little bit annoying here on the GS4 is that I can't zoom in as much as I can when I'm on the Note 2. You can see here in the Note 2, I'm not sure if this is something, I said this earlier, and some guy in the comment section was saying, what, that can't be true. But I was speculating in that you can't zoom in as much because you don't get the Exynos chipset on the GS4. But I might be wrong about that, but I want to zoom in this much. Definitely want to zoom in this much, on the GS4, but I can't. And it has a high resolution screen, so I don't know why I can't do that. I find it annoying. I want to use the whole, power here. I want to be able to zoom into, super, super close. So please let me know about that. Also, if you find that a little bit annoying, maybe I should try a different browser. I don't know. But they're using the same kind of browser here that Samsung ship this out with. Could be latest Nature UX, latest TouchWiz that doesn't allow this, but I find it a little bit annoying. And also going up and down, of course, is the same here. You actually get, let's see here. Seems like you get a little bit more of a nice performance here on the Note 2. I kind of like it because, let's see here, it doesn't seem to have to re-render as much the website as it's doing here a little bit on the GS4. Okay, now it works pretty good. But the performance, performance is kind of the same. One thing that I was a little bit annoyed by, of course, is definitely that I can't zoom in more here on the GS4. And of course, I think that the experience overall, when you use the browser, will probably be better on the Note 2, especially if you're doing videos, if you're reading a lot, that you can zoom in more. And if you look at videos, it will be, of course, more amazing. So if we continue on here, and we can definitely start to check out some quick gaming here. It's a Gameloft game, so it should definitely be running better here on the Adreno 320 because it's from Gameloft, as I said. But if we would check out like a game like GTA, I'm pretty sure the Note 2 would crush. And of course, gaming experience, even though you might get a little bit lower FPS here on the Note 2, you get a bigger display, so it might compensate for that, or might be good. You might like it more still, because bigger is, most of the times better. And yes, the display I think looks better here on the GS4.
Welcome to Hawaii.
So first, I have some weird controls here. It's a little bit annoying. Whoa. But performance here amazing. No problem whatsoever. Feels very comfortable to hold the GS4. Because it also has less weight, like 50 grams less. It weighs 130 grams versus the 180 gram Note 2. And then of course with the wide sides, it feels so good to hold. And with the Adreno 320 GPU and amazing quad-core processor, that really makes the experience amazing. Now, let's take a look at the same game here on the Note. And as I can feel here with the Mali 400 GPU, it doesn't run as good. But the bigger display really is amazing. That is bigger. It's not better though, but the performance is a little bit, you can feel it's maybe around 10 FPS less. than what you would get on the Galaxy S4, which is a little bit annoying. I definitely want better performance here. But you can still play the game, of course. And the massive display really makes it still a very, very good, enjoyable experience. But overall, I would say the GS4 there is better. But if we would play, play a game like Rockstar's GTA Vice City, which I haven't installed right now, it probably would run better here on the Note 2 than on the GS4, which definitely could be something to consider because it's a nice game. So let's continue and check out some quick, reading the Kindle app, which I use every day, to read and stuff. So let's just open up a random article here, or random article, I mean random book. So let's go here. Okay, the first thing I can see is that white definitely looks better here. On the Samsung Galaxy S4, white looks more white. That's just how simple it is, and the screen just looks better overall. And if we try to go to the lowest text. Okay, there we go. So we can see here a quick little look here at this. Will you notice a massive difference here when you're reading, 1080p screen versus a 720p screen? Will you notice a big difference? No, you won't. Most people won't notice a big difference. But I think it's kind of like eye candy. Like, I want the best, and I definitely can feel, and I can see that the text is a little bit smaller here on the S4. And if you really like that small text and you really want it to be like super crisp, it would be a nice phone to have. To have the Galaxy S4, but for most people it won't be a big difference. Most people probably won't care that much. I can also see that the text, the black looks a little bit more bold on the Galaxy Note screen. It might not be something that you do want to have that much, but yeah, 1080p for me, and that the screen looks so much more white here, just makes it very easy for me to make a choice which one I would prefer here. Definitely I would prefer the Samsung Galaxy S4. So let's continue now, and let's just go and check out some quick benchmarking. So first we will be running the AnTuTu benchmark program tool, because people are addicted to testing. This will be going over some stuff like CPU memory, so we can get it on paper. That looks weird. So like a GPU test. Okay, sweet. So we can see here a score of 16,500 on the Note 2 and a score of almost 25,000 on the Galaxy S4. So what can we say about these scores? First of all, we can see that the CPU here 11,000, so it's a little bit higher than the 7,500 on the Note 2. You know, almost 50 times, or not 50 times, but 50% better. Then also on the GPU, we can also see that, you know, it's not, you know, fully 100% better, but almost. And then also the RAM here, we can see that it's a little bit better here on the GS4. The I/O is like I did read a count that was like reading from or your SD card or, you know, just internal storage. So you can see here also very identical there in specs, and you can save a lot of money here. I mean, like, you can definitely save a lot of money, so it would be, you know, it's not bad. The Note 2 is still a good phone. Let's check out 3D Mark, which is another very heavy benchmark program. And this will go on for a few minutes. Here we go. So getting the scores right now. So you can see I've got a score here of 3,300 on the Galaxy Note 2. Well, we got a score almost triple on the Galaxy S4 because there was like a heavy benchmarking test with a lot of GPU power and run a 3020 GPU, and plus the quad-core processor is, it's the good stuff. So it definitely performs so much better here. We got to see the demo here. We're running at like 51 FPS, only 18 FPS here. A little bit too low. Wow, a lot of testing here. 9 FPS on the first test, while I got 51 here on the Galaxy S4. So you can definitely see the potential in the Galaxy S4 with the the hardware and stuff like that, especially in newer games that will run amazing on the Galaxy S4. So to sum it up, like, which one should you buy? Well, I mean, like, I'm gonna say the best things here. The good things, why you would still want to have the Note, is because it's still bigger. It comes at an affordable price. You can say like 100 to 200 bucks or 200 pounds to buy this. The S Pen, you can still take notes, and it's still big. I like big stuff. I really do like big stuff, and you will see what I will, think about if I will enjoy the HTC One. It might be my main device. We'll see when I can pick it up. Quality and also the speaker, they should be a little bit better here on the Note 2 as well. That it's well by more colors. The price, the battery that it's bigger, and also that has MALI 400 and Exynos that you can zoom in more in the browser. So you can zoom in more in the browser, and also GTA that it seems to be running better here with MALI 400. MALI 400 runs some games better than Adreno 320, but Adreno 320 overall it's a better GPU. So why would you pick up the S4? CPU plus GPU is better, new sensors, better version of Android plus TouchWiz. This is of course things that can come in the future to the Note 2, but who knows? A better screen with a high resolution and better protection on top of it. 1080p, amazing, awesome. People say that this screen looks unreal, and yeah, I kind of agree. 4G speed, that you can get HSDPA up to 42 megabits per second, and also of course that the camera is better. The camera is better. It's a 30 megapixel one, and the software for it is a little bit better. So overall, I mean, the GS4 definitely is the winner for most people. But for those old guys, I mean, this is a still killer device. I like the big stuff, and I can't wait to see the next Galaxy Note phone. I mean, it's gonna be amazing. We have a cool Galaxy Megaphone coming up pretty soon. We'll see if I can pick it up. But that one looks really interesting because it's super big, 6.3 inch, and it's like big, amazing. So yeah, if you did like this video, please leave a like. It really do help me out. And also you can leave a comment, if you have any questions, or if you want to see upcoming reviews on a specific product. Thanks for watching and enjoying this video. If you want to check out more of my videos or these phones, check out the description down below, or more of my videos, just go to my YouTube channel, and I will hopefully see you all in the next video. So yeah, peace.